So it's been reported that Erik Ten Hag will take over from Ralf Rangnick as the Manchester United manager in the summer, with Ralf Rangnick moving into a consultation role, as they've been calling it. I'm not exactly sure what this will entail, but that has been the narrative all along. Now, I'm not going to take it as gospel that Ten Hag's definitely coming, because I've made that mistake before with Manchester United, and it can be really heartbreaking when things don't work out. However, I want to take this opportunity to get a little bit excited and to make a lineup of how I believe we could set up our team once Ten Hag takes over as the manager. Now, interestingly, I actually made a video a couple of days ago talking about how Anthony Martial and Donny van der Beek should be recalled from loan. And interestingly, they both fit into my starting 11 because I believe Ten Hag will ditch Pogba and Ronaldo, and I believe he'll get Martial and van der Beek in the starting 11. So without further ado, I'll let you see my starting 11 that I believe Ten Hag will pick. So Ten Hag at Ajax has played both a 4-2-3-1 and a 4-3-3. So I'm going with a 4-3-3 here. Now, this might not necessarily be the case, but I believe this would be our best 11 under Ten Hag. And as you can see, there's a few sort of shocking options in there as well. So I'll go from the back. So you've got David De Gea in goal. I don't believe any manager on the planet would pick a different choice here. Back four, I've gone for Varane and Lindelof. Because Ten Hag's a more continental sort of manager, he's going to favour players who are good one-on-one, not necessarily the most physical, but are good on the ball. So that's where I think Lindelof comes in. Varane's definitely the best defender at the club. No one can really debate that. But Lindelof is the best on the ball. Lindelof can play passes out, and he's composed, he can make tackles, he's good one-on-one. So I think that's where the centre-back pairing comes in for me. So I've actually put that he'll start with Dalot and Shaw as fullbacks. Now, this might not necessarily be the case. He might go and have faith in Wan-Bissaka, and he might even play Telles. But I do think ultimately that Shaw is our best left-back, and I think he'll come back to prove that later this season. So I do think that by the time Ten Hag takes over, I think Shaw will be re-established as the best left-back. However, I do think Dalot will keep his place, just due to the fact Wan-Bissaka's had a very poor season, but he's also a real liability going forward. And I think with these modern managers and their modern tactics of attacking fullbacks, I'm not necessarily an advocate of it. I don't necessarily believe that fullbacks should be judged completely on their attacking ability, which I feel like they are at the moment. But I do feel as though this is how Ten Hag's going to come in and be. I think he's going to see that Dalot's better going forward, and he's better first touch, better crossing. I think he's going to see that and put Dalot in the team, and then that way the fullbacks can be higher up the pitch, because I think that is the way he's going to want to play with Manchester United. Now, Scott McTominay as a number 6. I think Ralf Rangnick has been an advocate of McTominay in this position, and I think his impact in the consultancy role is going to be something where this will continue, basically. Now, in the 2 number 8 slots, you might notice I've not got Pogba. I fully believe that if Ten Hag comes in, I don't think Pogba will be playing for Manchester United next season. I don't think he will be. I think we might have to get some new centre midfielders in, because if Pogba does leave outside of van der Beek and Fernandes, we won't have any real creative threats there. But it also means that we will be playing a midfield 3 that contains van der Beek and Fernandes. We know that Donny van der Beek is someone that's liked by Erik Ten Hag, because he was excellent under Ten Hag at Ajax. And Bruno Fernandes is a very influential player. He's a player whose commitment can't be questioned, no matter if he has a bad game or whatever. So I think these 2 will be the starting midfielders, and I think that will give us a lot of creativity. And I think Van der Beek will give us a lot of balance by being there with Bruno Fernandes, as opposed to what's been happening this season. Now, up front, I've gone for Elanga on the left. Reason being is because I'm not saying Rashford will be completely gone. I'm not saying Rashford's career at Manchester United will be over under Ten Hag, but I do think Ten Hag will make Rashford have a good hard look at himself, which I think he needs at the moment. He's kind of someone that for the last 2 to 3 years has thought that he's made it and been very selfish on the ball, makes bad decisions all the time. Because you've got someone that, like Elanga, that is coming in, is young, just wants to do the right thing. And given Ten Hag's penchant for wanting to go with youth players, I think this is a very likely choice on the left wing here. Now, Sancho and Martial are my other 2 options picked up front. Now, this is because I believe that Ronaldo and Cavani will both be surplus to requirements if Ten Hag actually comes in. He might keep Cavani, but I think he'll let Ronaldo go. He will not want that sort of influence on the dressing room. Now, I'm not saying that Ronaldo's not a good player. He's a fantastic player. He's one of the best to ever do it. But at this point, he's a bit of a hindrance to Manchester United, especially as far as the relationship between the players and the coach, because players will listen to Ronaldo because they're in awe of him. So I don't think this is good for a coach coming in. So I do think that Ten Hag will get rid of Ronaldo, and I think that Anthony Martial is probably the best fit for what Ten Hag wants from a striker. If you look at Dusan Tadic, he's kind of more of a number 10, more of a playmaker. And Martial, whilst not exactly like that, has excellent link-up play, great with his back to goal, great on the ball. I think he's the closest thing to Tadic that we've got as far as an option. And I think he'll come back off loan. He's going to do really well for Seville the rest of this season. And I think he's going to be one of Ten Hag's favourites from the off. And I think the same about Sancho. Sancho's only going to get better. He's started to prove himself now as a Manchester United player. And I think he's only going to thrive under Ten Hag next season, once Ten Hag actually gives him the minutes that he needs. So that is my 11 under Erik Ten Hag. I do believe this is what he'll do. I think there's certain players that will be completely booted out. Like I think Maguire is going to find himself on the sidelines. I think Ronaldo's going to find himself with, leaving the club. I think Pogba's going to leave the club if Ten Hag comes in. And I think these are actually positive things for us. I think these are all players that in one way or another, not necessarily through any fault of their own, have actually held us back in the past couple of years. So I think these are good things, and this is going to be, if he does come, and I really hope that he does, I think this is going to be something progressive for Manchester United. However, as I've said before, we don't know until he's there on the sideline or in a Manchester United tracksuit. But guys, thank you very much for listening to me here. If you've got any thoughts on the lineup, please leave that in the comment section. We'll have a chat about it. I will see you in the next video.